Hello and welcome to the last round of the main event in the Niger Delta Games 2026. On your screens, Prestige from Akwa Ibom State going against Samuel from Abia State. And just a quick update, in the last game, we saw Clinton from Edo State finally claim the title of the gold medal in this tournament as he won that round against Prestige, who is playing from Akwa Ibom State. So big congratulations to Clinton, who throughout this tournament did not drop a single game. And in the female category too, we had Sophia from Delta State also gives a nice in this tournament, who was on 9 wins and no losses so far. So congratulations to Clinton and Sophia winning the singles event for both the male and female category. So into the game now, we saw an exchange from Prestige and now Samuel playing Pod as his first move. So both players right now are for the silver medal, as Prestige is on 6 wins, 3 losses, and Samuel also on 6 wins and 3 losses. So either of those two players is likely to be the silver medalist for this competition. Back into the game now, the exchange seems to have paid off for Prestige as he has drawn into the blank. He has YSTING, has a lot of options here, and let's see what he's able to come up with. And meanwhile, we can have a general look at the medal table for the Niger Delta Games across all competitions. So Edo State right now has 33 gold medals. Meanwhile, in second place, Delta has 25 gold medals. And with Clinton from Edo State winning the gold in the singles events just now, I think it's safe to say Edo State now has 34 gold medals. Meanwhile, Delta State with 25, and with Sophia's win in the female category, we can say that is an extra gold medal for Delta State. So big ups to this state doing really, really well and dominating this tournament. Here, I believe you'll be seeing Spain as the bingo here for Prestige. And just in case you're wondering, there is still a lot of Scrabble to be played in this tournament. This is only the singles event. Right after this last round, we would be starting the doubles event later on in the day. And tomorrow would also be seeing the team events where players from each state would also be competing against players from other states across their table. So staying there is the bingo for Prestige. All right, scores are Prestige 73 points to Samuel's 12 points. And okay, I think we're seeing a phony, but I'm unsure what that tile is. I believe it's that's H, so that should be oysters, which is valid. HOITERS is the rack for Samuel there, and he's going for oysters that scores 72 points. So I think we'll be seeing a really interesting game here. Prestige starting out with Spain, and then a reply from Samuel right after playing oysters for 72 points. There was, however, an 86-point option for Samuel, if we could cite the word Harriet playing down this lane here. for 86 points. But Oysters too scores pretty well and it's a world is sure up, so no harm done here. Okay, we can see Prestige lining up here. But I doubt there will be an opening for that on the board. A quick score update here. Oysters scoring 72 points. It takes Samuel to 84 points, while Prestige is on 73. Oh, there is in fact a link for Dokia on the board, but oof, Prestige seems to have missed that. That would be a really costly miss because he had 75 points available for him playing Dokia right beneath the HO here. Finally, would have opened up the triple lane right now. A 75-point bingo. Something, excuse me, something you would not want to pass up on. But in the absence of that, we spotted the move Reiki, which scores pretty well too. The Reiki for 42 points, and Samuel now cashing in on the spot where Prestige could have played his bingo, playing Talent there for 72 points. Although I would have personally preferred to see Delation through the eye that Prestige is playing his bingo right now. That would have, not exposed the 9-timer. But Talent here for 72 points is the move, and without wasting time, see Prestige going for Obenberg, which is a pretty nice find for Prestige. Owenberg scoring 86 points, the only available bingo for him on that turn. Quick score check. Prestige on 201 to Samuel's 156. This might be the game for the silver medal, but we can see that both players here are bringing their A game and are ready to put in their best. 4 bingos so far in the game already, and there are only 4 moves in by each player. Staying the 4th bingo from Prestige, right after Oysters was the reply from Samuel. And not long after, Samuel was able to spot Talon and Ovenberg now from Prestige. And are we seeing yet again another bingo? Repeating its raining bingos here with a wrap of REBAING. Rebating for 92 points. I'm sure Prestige might have been relaxed playing the 86-point bingo, feeling pretty confident, but now a 92-point bingo reply from Samuel must be pretty shaky for him right now as Samuel takes his lead further to a margin of 47 points. But luck shines on Prestige. As you can see, he has found the blank on his rack, and this would appear to be a really interesting game. And let's see how we can navigate his turn. He has the blank, but unfortunately, a couple of vowels with that, and only the T to bail him out as the consonant. So things might be slowing down here for a while. We can even see Samuel to straining into 2 U's and a W. So I think the reign of bingos would be ending for a while, but there is still a lot of drama and a lot of scoring to be made in this game. So let's see how each. There is in fact a bingo to the S. Let me confirm if I'm not mistaken. His style he has AITIOA blank. So yes, to the floating S in Oysters, he has Apositia, APOSITIA plays there. And one more bingo to the R in Reiki, which is Zoiatria. Really obscure bingos for Prestige. But I'm sure he knows the word Apositia. So if he can really lock in on that spot and think about making his blank the P, I think he will be able to spot Apositia to the S. But we will see him taking his time, and rightfully so. And if he's unable to spot those bingos, he could, just balance his styles, and he would most likely be able to bingo next time. So options for balancing his styles, could go for simple ideas like AIA here. It opens up a lane here for his bingo. So for a bingo, all right, we're saying going for ITA. A bit questionable. Obviously, you need to worry about picking more vowels with what you have, retaining O, I, and A. So what if he goes into the band and pick more vowels? That's going to be a bit of trouble. So a little nuance there that Prestige needed to consider. Yeah, ITA scores 16 points, and wasting no time, Samuel going for just YU there. We had the rap UWTAYM. Personally, I think you should just tack the M to that and play young. Or maybe he's worried about opening up too many lanes for his opponent. So he's going for just YU instead. That scores 29 points, retaining WAUNT. Back to Prestige, FOEIAS plan. He should be able to spot his bingos through the L in talent or the R rating. I think the bingos through the R are pretty simple. He has for sale and for said and farinos there. For floaties is also something he could play through the L in talent, scoring pretty much the same points. So let's see Prestige take his time here. Quick score check, saying Samuel at 277 to Prestige's 217. And after a 61 point bingo here, the scores are going to be pretty much evened up, and it'd be interesting to see how the game goes. There is still the Z, X, Q, and J on scene, and depending on the right openings, those could really score a lot of points depending on who has those tiles. So still a couple of tiles left that could decide how this game would swing. I'm sure Prestige would most likely have found the bingos to the R, but seeing that the score only 60 points, would be really thinking about bingos that would start with the R or play to the floaters that would score really well. But I can confirm that right now his best options are just what's like floaties, farinos, and the likes that score only 60 points. I see Samuel Emelike in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. For anyone just joining in, this is the last round of the singles event at the Niger Delta Games 2026. I can confirm that Clinton from Edo State has won the male gold medal for this tournament. But right now, Prestige and Samuel are going head to head for the silver medal. So whoever wins this game is going to take home that area. Right now, it is a really close and interesting game. We've seen a couple of bingos in this game so far. This is the sixth move, and there have been 5 bingos so far from both players, and this is going to make it the sixth now with farinos played by Prestige. And I'm really excited to see how the rest of this game goes. So farinos there for 61 points. We'll take the scores to Prestige's 278 to Samuel's 277. Okay, you're seeing a challenge here. That's going to be an extra 10 points for Samuel, for Prestige rather. That would be 71 points for Prestige there. In really close games like this, you'd try and be careful that you're not giving out too many +10s for the opponent, because imagine you end up winning the game, or sorry, losing the game with less than 10 points, then you're going to start regretting, oh, why did I challenge that word and award the opponent an extra 10 points. So, but Samuel is unsure of the word and rightfully should challenge and make sure that it is a valid word. Because if it isn't, then it's going to be 0 for the opponent. So, understandable challenge there for Samuel. So he has rank MOW, AUL, and T. I was saying going for something pretty simple here. Okay, I thought you wanted to play Mo at the top right corner, but we see him going for it underneath the tiles and talent. I think there are a lot of places that I could have scored a lot more. Here it scores 23 points, but playing the same word here would have scored 28 points. So I think that was a slight oversight from Samuel. Given the fact that the games or the scores are close, I think going for the highest possible score you can get is pretty important. And obviously, you can't block up all the lanes on the board, so you shouldn't be worried about trying to close down the board, but just trying to get as much points as you can. And Prestige there with a tough draw of GIIUIOT. I listed earlier that there are still a lot of juicers to be picked. There's the Z, the J, the Q, the X, and after that bingo, join into a pretty ugly rack right now must be pretty devastating. But let's see if we can weather the storm. Make, as I love to say, make lemonades out of these lemons. So GUIIIOT is an exchange worth considering because its options are very limited. In fact, the only stellar play aside swapping would be Saudi. Let me see if I can point that out on the board. Saudi here plays out the O, U, and I. It doesn't score well enough, or I mean, it's the only thing that plays out a couple of vowels from what he has. So if he's unable to spot that, I think the best option has to be to swap. There are too many good tiles in the back to be picked, and I'm trying to play out 2000 as we see him trying to play now with only slowing down. I mean, the scores are still pretty close. So personally, I think I would swap if I'm unable to spot moves like Saudi that plays out 3 of his powers. But we're seeing going for OI, and who knows, it might still be a favorable move later on because if it has, okay, the Q has already been played. Oh, the Q is still in the back. So if he has a Q with that, I'm sure you would feel pretty confident about his rack. So Samuel now with L. Okay, I know he has ZAT and HAUL. So ZAT HAUL. With the Z, I'm sure you would feel pretty confident about scoring pretty well on this board. Let's see. So move was played for 23 points. And OI. So that means Prestige is leading just 2 points. And Samuel should be able to squeeze out certain points from this board with the tiles he has. Okay, I can see him arranging AULT. I'm unsure where he's considering playing those tiles. But I think the most obvious choice would simply be words like LUZ down here. But we see him going for UH. I'm unsure, is he trying to lock down the board? I think this even worsens it because it makes it a lot easier for tiles to be played here than it were before. So I'm not quite sure why he made the UH move. I get that you're trying to retain your Zs to score higher next turn, or UH scores way too little, I think. Any Z here scores well enough and just keep scoring and hoping for good draws. So UH played for 16 points, and luckily for Prestige, after the move of OI, his rack is looking, a bit um, good. Yeah, I think he should. I think he's fixated on where Samuel played just now, and most of his moves have nothing to do with that sport. I think something as simple as ETUI here seems pretty good. Scores about how many points? That's 22 points, retaining GIS. I think he has spotted that. You can see him setting that aside on his rack. So ETUI there seems pretty good, doesn't give back too much to his opponent, and he retains the S and a vowel to just in case he has issues later on. Still a pretty close game. Taking a quick peek at Samuel's rack, you can see he has found the J and the Z. Or okay, Prestige perhaps focused on. I'm not quite sure the purpose of this move. Maybe he thought the UH was a setup or he's trying to balance his styles. I'm not sure. Because I know he spotted the ETUI move, or did not want to go for that. But let's see what happens. See, I played there for 13 points. And now we see F A L A J T and Z. I think things are looking pretty good for Samuel here because he could play out his J first for maybe 30 points or almost 30 points in a couple of places in the board and still retain the Z to score more points later on. So he has countless options here. Personally, without wanting to open the board too much, I think I'll just simply go for something like Raj. Sorry, RAJ here scores 29 points and retains the Z. Doesn't give back anything to the opponent. But I think he wants to go for maybe TAJ there. The downside is playing TAJ here just gives back underlaps here. So I would not exactly like that move. And the same idea here too. TAJ, as it's playing right now, gives back parallel plays here. So RAJ at the top of the board scores well. Oh, sorry. RAJ scores well. And doesn't give back too much to the opponent. So okay, another interesting choice here. Same idea. Okay, it's going for JA there instead, retaining FL80Z. Pretty good choice. JA there scores 28 points with FL80Z as its lead. Prestige having to suffer for the decision he made in the last turn with the move of TI. Now he's left with too many vowels. I think playing a 3 ETUI in the last move would have been a lot better. So we can see Samuel having a gradual lead here. Even without the bingo, it's about a 30 points lead. And next turn, we said Samuel would still be able to score a lot of points on the board. So I think this just shows the importance of having tiles like the Z and the J. Even without bingos, you could score pretty solidly with them and be able to extend your lead. Most especially when your opponents like Prestige right now is having some trouble with styles, a lot of forwards and not a lot of scoring options. So would he want to consider making a setup play for his S? Okay, I think both players are trying to reconcile the scores and make sure it is accurate. I can confirm that all things being equal, Samuel should be on 344 to Prestige 315. is. Okay, so that's Falelor. Now, just the sport I mentioned just now, the Zeta move, which personally I think have been scary for me to make as a player, knowing that the S's and the one S and two R's are still the same. But it seems to be favoring Samuel now, as he would be the first to cash in on that spot. Could play FORE or FORA down. You can see it's going for FORE for 40 points. And that would give him a 70 points lead. So a lot of catching up for Prestige to do in this game. But could there be a bit of hope for Prestige? He has AIRCASE, which there are no bingos for him on this turn. There are 7 tiles left unseen. The only advantage right now is there are only 2 vowels left, the A and the E. So it is almost sure that Samuel will be running through bit of vowel trouble after the last move of FORE. So is there a way that Prestige can recognize that and use that to his advantage to win this game? Okay, with the draw that Samuel has, that means the queue is still in the bag. So Prestige here has to be really careful of not playing out too many tiles so that can avoid having that or picking that queue, which would really hinder his chances of being going. Really, really interesting choices. Here is he's going for just Zoa. ZOA there scores 24 points. And I think he has rightfully understood the risk of playing out too many vowels. So 24 points there for Prestige. But I think seeing the trend, okay, he's going for AA now. Yes, I think this is reasonable. This costed 3 points, giving CRIES. I think there was a very interesting option there. If he could play Zoic, let me see if I can pen that down. ZOIC. Given the tiles left in the pool, it's going to be really difficult for Samuel to do anything about playing anything here that would be really scary or score a lot. So Zoic there would retain AAERS and I, which is AAERS instead, which is a really good leave considering the tiles left in the back. So I think Zoic there would have obviously avoided a move like Fax, and not just that, but create an obvious stress that Samuel has to score less to take care of. But Zoa to scoring 33 points, it was still a solid choice. So quick score update. For the move of Zoa for 33, X was played, and Prestige still trails by over 70 points. So it desperately needs a bingo, and not just that, must make sure it doesn't draw into the queue because it could be a problem. PICREWS. With just 4 tiles left in the bag, I would do anything but play out the vowel I have. I'm not sure the reasoning behind this, but from his perspective, there are only 2 vowels left. So I think him holding on to that I and E is extremely important. I think the move that the computer really likes here would be just jaw at the spot where he played PIC, threatening the S hook. And as you can see from the three move play, he has drawn into the Q, which would be really, really difficult to um, drop down anywhere on this board. So jaw should have been the move by Prestige there if he wanted any chance here in that move. I think now it's pretty comfortable, even without a lot of vowels. It's pretty comfortable to score and win this game, especially the fact that it did not draw into that queue and Prestige has that queue instead. So SEW was the move for Prestige. Just less than 30 seconds to go. But I think even that move was rushed, but still not a lot of options for Prestige anyways. But SUQ would have been the only spot for the Q, looking YUS. So let me point that out here. SUQ here would have been the only move. Would have been the only move that would have played out his Q. But now with the move of SEW, there's practically no spots for that Q. Yes, Deborah Christopher in the chat has said in everything, Samuel shouldn't draw that Q, and that is exactly what has played out here. After that move of PIC, I think it was very crucial that Prestige played out only one tile, regardless of where it is on the board, just a one tile play that would also threaten an open. And I think JAW at this spot here would have done exactly what he needed. Oh, sorry, let me adjust that. So JAW would have threatened Jaws, obviously, for a bingo here. So, and playing out only one tile. Obviously, there's still the chance that it would draw into the queue, but it would just really reduce his chances of that happening. So, really fast end game play here from both players after Sue was played. I think NED was what Samuel played next. And VOL for Prestige. And now with L and N, still no spot for those two tiles to play, but the right move is what Samuel is making right now. JARL. Still no spot for the Q for Prestige, so it probably just plays R somewhere on the board. Okay, so Rum was played, and then to finish off, maybe Hewn, HEWN would be the highest scoring spot for that. And oh, this was such an incredible game. For anyone that was following from the start, we saw back to back to back bingos. Moves like staying from Prestige was the first bingo played, and right after Oysters from Samuel for 72 points. Then, without wasting too much time, Talon came again from Samuel, but Prestige found a really, really nice find of Ovenberg for 86 points. And you'd think, oh, that was the end of the reign of bingos, but Samuel said no. And Baton came down through that T for 92 points. And since then, Prestige has had to struggle even after finding Farinos for 61 points and was challenged for 10 extra points. It still wasn't enough. Saw a couple of plays from both players, just low scoring plays, but the board was pretty much choked up and the tiles were unfavorable. However, Samuel was able to join into the J and the Z, which were very, very crucial in this game. The J scored 38 points and Z for Zeta scored 37 points. And with the dynamics of the board and how close the scores were, those two moves really, really determined a lot. And then we saw FORE for 40 points for Samuel come later on. And Prestige was really trying his best to try and gun for a bingo, but it just couldn't come. And I think the deciding move was the PIC played by Prestige, which at that point in the game, I think he could not afford to pay out 3,000. Also, use up one of his bowlers because there were not a lot of bowlers left in the bag. So, really, really nice play from both players. Congratulations to Samuel from Abia State winning the silver medal. And I'll get confirmation soon on who the gold medal will be. So, big ups to both players. And for anyone who is unaware, you're still just joining. In the female category, we had Sophia from Delta State to win the gold medal, while in the